training etiquette designed for real estate agents, but it's really for anyone who works with clients, right? So in my last clip, I went over one of the most important things is to know yourself, right? Just kind of like really know who you are. Because when you know who you are, you can perfect other things, but you have to start here. You have to know who you are. You have to get that right first, right? Because that's a reflection. And when we self-reflect, and we become more familiar with ourselves. So that was in my last clip. Okay. One of the other most important mistakes I see is that agents don't know their customer. Know your customer. Know who you're working with. And this also applies to brokers who hire agents. Because I see sometimes, I know because I've worked at different places, and I see the broker really demonstrate, sometimes they demonstrate, the way they have their shop run, but sometimes they don't demonstrate that. Sometimes they demonstrate other things. And if you're going to work for somebody, you want to work for that person that is most closely a reflection of how you work, right? And it comes down to etiquette, right? Now we're going back to square one, right? It's called etiquette. So let me give you an example. So I interviewed with a broker over the phone. I actually called the broker, and we set up like a time to meet and stuff. I get to the appointment, and the broker wasn't there. And the broker had no intentions of being there, apparently. I didn't know that. So another broker told me, well, that broker's not showing up. And I'm like, well, I scheduled this interview with that broker. What do you mean the broker's just going to blow me off completely? Doesn't even tell me. So that's an example of a situation where that's not etiquette. That's not good etiquette. So when you meet your client, you have to show up, right? The number one thing is know your client. And if you feel maybe that client you're not fit to work with, then you should kindly say, I don't feel fit to work with you. Or if it's a broker shop that you're going to and the broker feels like they're not sure if that agent's going to fit in, then you should say, I don't know if you're going to fit in here. Or if you can't show up, maybe you should just cancel an appointment and say, let's reschedule at another time and let's further our discussion then. So going back to knowing your client, when you know your client, it shows, because no matter who you're meeting with, you want to know something about them. It shows them that you're taking interest in who they are. It shows them that you've taken the time to kind of get to know what they like and who they are, right? So for me, I'm all over the internet. You can Google me, you can see my background, you can see where I've worked. You could basically look at my website and know a lot about me. And I don't sugarcoat, and I tell you in my videos, I'm not a sugarcoater. I don't do the sprinkles and the cherry on top and make everything sweet and lie. I don't do that. I say it like it is. I'm very direct, and I'm very to the point, because I feel like in real estate and in business, there's no room to shade and lie. If a property doesn't look good, I'm going to let you know the property doesn't look good. If the property looks great, I'm going to let you know the property looks great. So know your client. It is reflective of the work that you do, right? And know your client. Know the person you're meeting with. And this can apply to anyone. It can apply to the broker meeting with somebody. It can apply to the agent meeting with the client. It can apply to a business situation where I'm going to go meet with, some clients to discuss what they're looking for in real estate. So know that, because that is a presentation of who you are. They're going to notice that. They're going to notice if you notice who you are. So if you don't, then it becomes very apparent that you don't care. You don't care. And when we don't care, that gives us a voice to the client that we don't care. And it's loud and clear. So on my trip recently that I took to purchase real estate in another state, client didn't show up. And the client didn't show up because, I don't know, I'm not the agent in that situation. But my guess is the agent was intimidated. And instead of saying, I'm not sure if if I know enough about real estate to work with you, and I gave him many outs, like, listen, if you don't feel comfortable, if like maybe you feel like this is too much for you, like I gave him many outs. So when you are led into an out, maybe you're not the right agent for a certain client, because if you're going to work with somebody who is very experienced in real estate, most likely that person would appreciate somebody who really knows what they're doing and is very educated in their field. So that's a very short tip for you. Training etiquette goes a long way.